Ladies and gentlemen, hit subscribe right now if you're new to this channel. If you're into the uploads, definitely watch the first half an hour of this channel. It's happening, ladies and gentlemen. It is happening. And I just went to the dentist, so like the left side of my mouth is is just numb. But it is taking place. It is happening. Jim Jordan, Mark Meadows have filed articles of impeachment against. I don't do the redacting, sir. Mr. I don't do the redacting. Mr. Pass the Buck, Rod Rosenstein, who, along with everyone else, is Strzok, all of them, Comey, McKay. Well, it's not my fault. It's his fault. Oh, it's just, half of it's pretty much, I'm surprised I can speak right now, but half of it's pretty much numb. So if I start drooling or spitting on the camera, please forgive me. House Republicans file impeachment resolution against Deputy AG Rod Rosenstein. House conservatives move to impeach Rod Rosenstein. House Republicans launch bid to impeach Deputy Attorney General Rod Rosenstein. Can you say it's happening, ladies and gentlemen? It's slowly taking place. Every single day, you and I are vindicated every single day. I can feel like every single day. So, Mark Meadows, I just filed a resolution with Jim Jordan and several colleagues to impeach Rod Rosenstein. The DOJ has continued to hide information from Congress and repeatedly obstructed oversight, even defying multiple congressional subpoenas. We have had enough. Yes. I love CNN breaking. Conservative House Republicans, really conservative. The Associated Press, GOP lawmakers introduce articles of impeachment against Deputy Attorney General Rod Rosenstein. Marin Garcia, Pompeo is a chess master boss. I'm not sure what to make of Pompeo. I think that he's a yes man. I think that he owes his political career to Trump. I think he's very loyal. I think he hates Clinton. I think he retweeted WikiLeaks, and he's wrong about Assange. Obviously, he made statements that were ridiculous, especially since he retweeted WikiLeaks. But not sure about Pompeo, other than he was pretty good at the hearing. Impeachment articles against Deputy Attorney General Rod Rosenstein, Sarah Carter. Finally. So let's go ahead and read. This is Politico. Or I just, here, 2 minutes ago. NBC News. House Republicans file impeachment resolution against Deputy AG Rod Rosenstein. The resolution accuses Deputy Attorney General Rod Rosenstein of seeking to block congressional oversight over Robert Mueller's investigation. You can also say goodbye to Mueller eventually. The whole thing's going to come crashing down, ladies and gentlemen. 400 people, a little over 2 minutes in. Whether or not it can get past the Senate is not that big of an issue. If he gets impeached in the House, it sends a message to Sessions to move his behind. He was already at an event with students, high school students, and they were chanting "Lock her up, lock her up." This is spans beyond generations. You have a walking criminal in Clinton, and people are telling me and everybody, "Oh, well, get over Bernie being cheated." One of my friends today was like, "Oh yeah, well, you're voting for Trump? Why?" I was like, "Well, one reason is Bernie was cheated. Another reason was he's less hawkish than Democrats." And then I was going on. He's like, "Oh, well, get over Bernie with being cheated. Get over." I'm not going to get over. Well, even if you want me to get over that, I'm not going to get over the fact that Democrats fabricated a Russian hacking myth. Bruce Tomaszewski, play "Eye of the Tiger" by Survival. Play "Eye of the Tiger" by Survivor while reading. Rising up. Bruce Tomaszewski, thank you. 500 people 5 minutes in. That's right. It's taking place, ladies and gentlemen. The resolution accuses Deputy Attorney General Rod Rosenstein of seeking to block congressional oversight. So, ladies and gentlemen, this is the NBC News article. To my super chat, you give me every incentive to keep rocking these live streams, so thank you. I appreciate it. I just sent the NBC News article. Here's the NBC News article again. And conservative Republican House members introduced articles of impeachment Wednesday evening against Deputy Attorney General Rod Rosenstein, accusing him of stymieing congressional oversight of Special Counsel Robert Mueller's investigation of alleged interference. I love how they're now saying alleged interference in the 2016 presidential campaign. The resolution, introduced by Representative Mark Meadows, Jim Jordan, and 9 co-sponsors, alleges that Rosenstein has withheld documents from and made misleading statements to Congress. I'm not the one doing the redacting, sir. So he blamed the redactors. HA Live, it's going down. Marin Garcia, yes. Yes. Marin Garcia, thank you so much. It is going down. It's happening, ladies and gentlemen. It's taking place right now. Every day you and I are vindicated. Every single day. The Democratic Party is being crushed by the weight of its own corruption, and they're too stupid to realize it. They're too stupid to realize it. They have no concept of hypocrisy. They don't understand that selling uranium to Putin and then saying that he's a threat is the height of hypocrisy. They don't understand that cheating Bernie Sanders and then stating that Russia cheated them is the height of hypocrisy. They don't understand that accusing Trump of something he never did based on gossip and hearsay is criminal. They don't understand that a walking criminal, Hillary Clinton, still has her security clearance, but that's probably just like, hey, here's your security clearance. I mean, don't do anything I wouldn't do. We're just waiting. We're just waiting for the second time you mishandle classified intel. We're just waiting for the second time. And let her run, let her run for 2020. And then we'll find out she has another private server with top secret intel or special access program intelligence. Somehow she got it. And then Christopher Wray will indict her. It's just fantastic. So let's go ahead. It's all good. It'll happen. Thank you, Gary. I think we're all over the target. Thank you, Gary Vance, very much. And that's the thing, look, you and I live, good lives, okay? We don't do anything crazy. We're not criminals. We don't do anything crazy. We're just normal people, We don't have a server with top secret intelligence. That's Hillary. We don't lie under oath like James Clapper and John Brennan. We're just normal people. We're just normal Americans. Just normal citizens, okay? Living our lives with our families, our kids, just trying to, live a good life, happy, and we don't really go do crazy things, okay? Did you purchase a dossier on somebody you didn't like that said he or she was peed on? No, you didn't. No, you didn't. Okay? I didn't either. I didn't either. And so you don't purchase dossiers on people that said they got peed on, they worked with Russian agents and all that stuff. I don't either. Hillary does. The Democratic Party does. So there you go. Okay. It's all coming down. So Rod Rosenstein goes, and if there's a push to fire Rosenstein, this is also, by the way, the bureaucratic justification to fire Rosenstein for Trump. If he has support in Congress to fire Rosenstein, it's already now. Trump could tomorrow fire Rod Rosenstein. Tomorrow. And if he fires Rosenstein, he could then go ahead, get somebody there, an interim person, to fire Mueller. Because the despicable Democrats said, oh my God, you spoke to Sergei Kislyak, Sessions, you have to recuse yourself. And Sessions was like, is that right? Really? Okay. I heard, lock her up during the thing. A spokesman said the Justice Department had no comment. Conservative lawmakers have accused the Justice Department of trying to both tar President Trump with the Russia investigation and downplay the investigation of Hillary Clinton's use of a private email server when she was Secretary of State. It is July 25th, 2018. It is July 25th, 2018. Every article written, even today, is about Clinton's emails or mentions Clinton's emails. This is never going to end, ladies and gentlemen, until she gets charged with one of the crimes that she's committed. Again, Christian Saucier was in the Navy, a sailor. He was in a submarine. He took a picture that nobody found, that nobody in no Russian, nobody, no adversary found the pictures. In fact, I think he threw it in the trash. Yet to make an example of this man, he was sent to prison for 1 year, away from his child and his wife. For what? Why? Meanwhile, you have Hillary Clinton, who still has a security clearance, almost certainly a trap. Like a moth to a flame, she can't stop committing criminal acts. Space goes to low. Hello, everyone. So, again, do you live a criminal life? No, you don't. You and I just live normal American lives. Hillary is like a walking criminal, and they're okay with that. And then they complain about Trump being a criminal. They can't find one thing he did wrong. They literally can't find one thing that was criminal in terms of what Trump. Then they're like the emoluments clause. Oh wow, it's like, okay. Clinton had a Clinton Foundation where 85 donors gave $156 million while she was Secretary of State and had access and met with her. And you don't see Harvard attorneys worried about the emoluments clause there, with money flowing into a foundation that is it's a conduit. It's an obvious conduit for access. Even Jeff Sessions stated that. In a statement, Meadows and Jordan said evidence continues to mount regarding the Department of Justice's problematic decision-making during the 2016 campaign and conduct surrounding the transition to President Trump's administration. Now, let me tell you something. Republicans own the Senate. If it's strict party lines and no senator deviates, he can get impeached. Okay? If you have you're probably Corker or whatever, but that person will be remembered forever. So that would be a failed political decision. The failures cited within the articles include intentionally withholding you need 2/3. Sorry. My bad. You need 2/3 of the Senate, so you're not going to get 2/3 of the Senate. But it doesn't matter. This is very, very important. It's not just contempt of Congress. I think Eric Holder got contempt of Congress. This is impeachment. This is exactly the legal basis, or at least the bureaucratic basis, for Trump to say, hey, look, you know what? We have Republicans who already want this guy impeached. Then if Trump fires Rosenstein and then fires Mueller, people can't say, oh, my God, he's a dictator. No, this started in Congress. The failures cited within the articles include intentionally withholding embarrassing documents and information, knowingly hiding material, investigative information from Congress, various abuses of FISA process, and failure to comply with congressional subpoenas, among others. It said FISA, the Foreign Intelligence Surveillance Act of 1978, is the law under which a secret court reviews government investigations involving sensitive national security issues. In June 2017, Rosenstein signed an application to the court for a warrant to allow the FBI to conduct surveillance of Carter Page. Rosenstein has so many conflicts of interest, he shouldn't even be in government any longer. Not only did he say, yeah, go ahead and fire Comey, but then he began a Mueller probe based on Comey's ridiculous, stupid memos. So how does that even work? Rosenstein said, fire Mueller. Fire Comey. But then at the same time, we're just going to go ahead and we're going to then investigate whether your firing of James Comey was warranted or whether it was obstruction of justice. How can it be obstruction of justice when he's never been accused of a crime? Okay, so Eric, Lexdad 1193. Ambassador Bolton said the Mueller probe is ending January 1st. I heard that, but wait, I didn't know if Bolton said, did Bolton say that? I don't know if Bolton said that. I have to, let me find out if Bolton said that. I can't find. I mean, I did hear something along those lines, but of like either Giuliani or Bolton, but I can't verify it. So, but I'm typing in Ambassador Bolton, John Bolton, and Mueller probe, and I'm not getting anything. But regardless of, so this is stupid. White House delays Trump-Putin meeting, blames Mueller probe. So like, it's so dumb. So if he meets Putin, then Mueller is going to want to talk to him. This is insane. It's the stupidest. They call until Mueller witch hunt. So Bolton is calling it a witch hunt. It's true. The witch hunt has to be over, and once it's over, Democrats will have absolutely nothing. They will have spent millions and millions upon millions of dollars for absolutely nothing. Brian Lankowski, thank you so very much. Lexstad1193, I couldn't find info to verify that, but I heard something to the effect, but I couldn't find any info to verify it. Ambassador, okay, so Brian Lankowski, thank you again. Thank you again, Brian Lankowski. So, yeah, I mean, the whole thing is Space Ghost 1, greatest day, July 4th, 1776. Next greatest day when they lock her up. Held the beast behind bars. Yep, absolutely. Space Ghost 1, as always, thank you so very, very much. Yep, absolutely. And I don't know whether she'll ever get locked up. They will charge her with a crime because she's a criminal. The media is the last to know. The media is run by producers and basically directors, movie directors, but producers who only parrot the DC establishment mindset. They never thought Trump would win. He won. They never thought Hillary Clinton would get indicted. She did. She will get charged. And it'll be funny looking back at these segments saying, wow, not so much HA knew, but like we all pretty much knew, almost 800 people on here. She'll get charged. And we all knew it. We all know it now. Marin Garcia, if Rod Rosenstein impeached, will Rhino Congress confirm someone with honor and integrity? Well, from what I understand, before the confirmation process, there's an interim number 2. The interim number 2 then goes ahead and can fire Mueller. So Trump just has to find an interim. The next day after he is appointed as interim deputy attorney general, he fires Mueller. So I hope Marin Garcia, I hope that somebody is honorable, but I'm just looking to get Mueller fired. This is like the stupidest, dumbest thing. A heavily redacted version of the application, the FISA application released Sunday, shows that authorities used other sources of information besides the disputed dossier. No, they didn't. The other source of information was a dumb conversation between Papadopoulos. I'm sorry, the professor that was supposed to be. This is like all characters from like Gilligan's Island. And so it's like, so what? So what? This is all nonsense. You mean there was a professor who said that he knew of something taking place? Yeah, and so you know what? What? So what? It doesn't matter. A spokesperson for Meadows said in an interview Wednesday night that the resolution isn't considered a privileged motion, meaning whether it eventually comes up to the floor votes is in the hands of Republican leadership. Republican leadership is going to, more importantly, Speaker Paul Ryan was asked last week if the latest indictments of Russians by the Department of Justice motivate him to encourage his colleagues to back off their attacks. He said nothing has changed. Ryan knows what's going on. All these people know exactly what's going on. There's not one person in Congress, including, who Adam Schiff, by the way, knows this all nonsense. None of these people are convinced or think that Russia hacked the DNC. None of the people in the know. They understand. Oh, wait, Canadian, thank you. As always, what is Jeff Sessions' role in Rod Rosenstein's impeachment, if any? I mean, I'm assuming he's like, y'all go ahead. I'm just going to wait. I can't do anything without Rosenstein blocking me like the Kembe Mutombo. Whack. Rosenstein has blocked every, attempt by Sessions. I don't even know if Sessions has actually made any attempts to actually do what he needs to do, but Rosenstein is there and serving as a conduit to all of these people, a conduit or a gatekeeper. Rosenstein has been the gatekeeper. So, Canadian, Jeff Sessions is probably waiting. The whole thing with Sessions is that Sessions has always waited for political momentum. These bureaucrats need political momentum. That's why when they were engaging in criminal behavior, they're like, oh, it's political momentum. Political momentum. Political momentum is oh, you know what? We think Trump did something wrong. We do think Trump did something wrong. Well, yeah, we do. We really do. No, really? Okay. Well, let's go ahead and spy on Carter Page. Okay, yeah, keep spying then. We have to go ahead and it's like Marin Garcia. Thank you. Can Huber from former grand jury from Utah, or does he have to be in D.C.? I believe he has to be in D.C. So he just flies to D.C. He can fly to D.C. I think Judge Napolitano, I love Judge Napolitano on Fox. He said that all Huber has to do is actually impanel a grand jury in D.C. But there's said to be a grand jury in Arkansas right now. Ladies and gentlemen, when Bill and Hillary Clinton, mainly Hillary, go down, when Hillary Clinton goes down and she gets charged with crimes, I mean, it's over. The writing's already on the wall. Script breaker. The skipper needs to smack Gilligan with his hat. Exactly. But Marin Garcia, I mean, Huber is, they say, a walking special counsel. But again, like, all of this is probably taking place slowly but surely. All of this nonsense is to cover up for Hillary Clinton using an unencrypted server and transferring top secret and special access program intelligence, which is not only a violation of the Espionage Act. Even if she did so with extreme carelessness, it would be under gross negligence, U.S. Code 793F. There is not one person, and I have veterans and I have soldiers who watch this channel, and God bless you all, and your families for everything you do for this country. And there's not one soldier, there's not one veteran, there's not one person who is an honest, intelligent, honest person who's been in the U.S. intelligence or whatever, who's had a security clearance, who can state that she didn't commit a litany of crimes. They all know. Everyone who's ever had a security clearance or who's ever been involved with, handling classified intelligence knows that Hillary Clinton, if she were any other person, would be in jail or prison for 1,000,000 years. This is not, and that's just one of the criminal acts. Funneling money, by the way, through her law firm is also, she did not let the Federal Election Commission know. She did not let the Federal Election Commission know. She did not let anyone know about her server. She didn't let anyone know she was purchasing the Steele dossier. She didn't let anyone know anything. So, I mean, 912 people. We got 24 minutes in. We got 900 people. That's right. House Republicans launch bid. My goodness, this is actually good for the left side of my mouth. It's like less numb now. House Republicans launch bid to impeach Deputy Attorney General Rod Rosenstein. 11 House Republicans have introduced articles of impeachment against Deputy Attorney General Rod Rosenstein, who oversees Special Counsel Robert Mueller's investigation into Russian election interference on President Donald Trump's 2016 campaign. Republicans have criticized Rosenstein for not being responsive enough, as they have requested documents related to the Russian investigation, as well as a closed investigation into Hillary Clinton's emails. Not being responsive enough regarding Clinton's emails, like I keep saying. I keep on repeating myself because it's so important. July 25th, 2018. It's July 25th, 2018, and we're talking about Clinton's emails. Why? Because she's a criminal. That's why. Thank you, Red Pill C, on Twitter. I'm going to retweet that. It's also kind of funny in that the Democrats pretty much go from like fake scandal to fake scandal. So now, like, the airwaves, they're not really talking about the Cohen Trump tapes. Pompeo in testimony today, things are in queue, maybe a coincidence. Marin Garcia, thank you so very, very much. And I say this with all respect to everyone who is interested in Q. I am not really a fan of Q, and I don't believe in it. But that does not mean I don't respect you and everyone else, you know. But for the people who do believe in that stuff, maybe you can answer the question. I don't really believe in Q or agree or think that it's a good source of information. But Marin Garcia, thank you so very, very much as always. I just wanted to be honest, as that's where I'm coming from. But I do respect everyone, regardless of what you think, what you believe. It's unclear if there will be an immediate vote. The articles were introduced by North Carolina Representative Mark Meadows and Ohio Representative Jim Jordan, frequent critics of the Justice Department. So what they do is, this is not good for Rod Rosenstein. The highest he's ever going to get, this guy is a career DOJ official, and he's only going to be known for this scandal. And believe me, ladies and gentlemen, right now we're in the eye of the storm in terms of the media freakout. The media is in pandemonium mode because they know that if Republicans continue to gain control of the House and the Senate in 2018 after November, they're all done. Mueller's done. This paves the way for Clinton indictments. The Russian nonsense is done. And they've lost all credibility in every single possible way because the polls now, a Quinnipiac poll, just came out with like 12 points up. Democrats 12 points over. That's funny. The Democrats 12 points. 12 points up. So we have 1,008 right now. 1,008. And on a side note, I have people coming to me and they're going to make me reevaluate my initial position. My initial position is if, I don't know how I would ever vote for Trump if, God forbid, Julian Assange is extradited to the U.S. I would have to remove my support. But if I continue to get these, comments, statements like, so AJ, look what Trump is doing to Julian Assange and to WikiLeaks, and that type of, yes, they will have a clean sweep. They will. They will win the House and the Senate again. They'll continue. No, I want Julian Assange free. I've written many articles about my respect. Well, free Assange and President Trump should pardon Julian Assange. Both articles in the Daily Caller. But I don't want WikiLeaks and Julian Assange to be. I don't want people to look at Trump and say, oh, it's Trump's fault. All of this, I mean, yes, his administration has threatened Julian Assange. Obviously, they're playing ball, obviously, with the deep state and with all the Democrats who all the intelligence officials are beholden to the Democratic Party. Yes, very bad, wrong. But you have to understand, Trump stated, I love WikiLeaks. Okay? You have to understand, he didn't say I love WikiLeaks. And granted, yes, it was because of emails that helped him, fine. But even if his emails were exposed, he wasn't cheating anyone. So then it goes back to Democrats are just more corrupt. You can't say, well, his emails weren't exposed. Who cares? It's not like there was really nothing surreptitious that he did. He didn't speak to any Russians. We know that there's no email chain with Trump and any Russian officials. It's all a bunch of nonsense. But the whole thing with when people gleefully, it's the glee, when people gleefully say, oh, look what Trump is doing, they have to understand every single race. I don't know about every single race, so I don't think I said every single race, but no, they'll win the House and the Senate. Obviously, they won't win every single. I don't think any. That's impossible, absolutely impossible, obviously. But Democratic senators wrote to Pence and said, "Oh, you better make Julian Assange's life miserable." So it's like, don't be so gleeful, and don't dare pretend that I am going to go ahead and retweet this. This is a meme. So Donald Trump says mean things and his star is destroyed. And then an actor, so I'll just leave it at that. There's one actor who's accused of a whole bunch of things and star is fine. That's just pretty much how this world is functioning. Wanda Richard, you go, dear. Thank you, Wanda Richard. You go, dear eyes. Thank you, Wanda Richard. Thank you so much. Greatly, greatly, greatly appreciated. So, Rod Rosenstein, let's just go ahead and listen to Rod Rosenstein. Thank you, Wanda. Thank you. So, this is Rod Rosenstein and James Jordan. This is where the metal meets the road in terms of really what's taking place right now. Jim Jordan is the tip of the spear when it comes to all this stuff. So, Rod Rosenstein, Jim Jordan.
Mr. Rosenstein, why are you keeping information from Congress?
So, the first thing, why are you just write like a wrestler and they try to like get him and say, oh, he should have known something. It's like, well, if that's the case, God bless you. Hold on. Somebody had a very nice message here. I can't find it. Anyway, God bless you all. Thank you. Annabon 31458. Rosenstein Artie Fumpkin from Spinal Tap. Spinal Tap. It's going to 11. Yeah, but Kickwick's the law he broke was like a minor infraction that is not, people don't go to jail for. And within the context of everything, the context is obviously that they're trying to get him for for publishing things. It is true that there is technically he did break a UK law, but the UK law is like a minor, not going to, what was it? He skipped out on the hearing because he was at risk of extradition. So, but I agree. Nobody should have security clearance. Who is not in the U.S. government? But here's Rosenstein and Jim Jordan. It's pretty awesome.
I'm not keeping any information from Congress that it's appropriate.
In a few minutes, Mr. Rosenstein, I think the House of Representatives is going to say something different.
I don't agree with you, Congressman. I don't believe that's what they're going to say, and if they do, they'll be
disagree. But I think in a few minutes, the House of Representatives is going to go on record saying you haven't complied with requests from a separate and equal branch of government, that you haven't complied with subpoenas, and you got 7 days to get your act together. I think that's what's going to happen in a few. That's not Jim Jordan. I think that's the House. I think that's a majority of the House of Representatives. In just a few minutes, I think that's going to happen. And I want to know why you won't give us what we've asked for.
Sir, I certainly hope that your colleagues are not under that impression.
His colleagues are under the impression. I love the fake, just the stupid fake protocol, manner of speaking, the civil diplomatic. I hope that they're not under the impression. Oh yeah, they're under the impression. They hate you. Mike Johnston, give him his what for? Mike Johnston, give him his what for? His what for? Security clearance, I think. $1,100 people.
That is not accurate, sir. And
it is accurate. We have caught you hiding.
Mr. Chairman, can we allow the witness to answer? Mr. Chairman, point of order. We can go to Mr. Jordan's press conference and listen to him, but we came here to hear from the witness.
The time belongs to the gentleman.
Notice how Democrats and everyone pulling the strings from Mueller and Trump, Russia, and all of these dumb conspiracy theories, they're protecting everybody. Notice that. So you just heard now.
Rosenstein,
we allow him to answer.
We have caught you hiding information.
Allow him to answer.
He will be permitted
to answer with
Mr. Jordan.
Why do we have them here?
Allow him to answer.
Why are they not allowed to answer?
The gentleman's out of order. The gentleman from Ohio is recognized. Rose, let me make this one point. Then I'll let you answer. Let me make this one point, sir, where we've caught you hiding information. Then you can answer. Why did you hide the fact that Peter Strzok and Judge Contreras were friends? Why did you redact that in the documents you gave to us? Judge Contreras is kind of important, buys a court judge. More importantly, just as importantly, the judge that heard Mike Flynn's case. Why did you try to hide that from us?
Mr. Jordan, I appreciate you giving me the opportunity to respond. I've heard you make those sort of allegations
Snivels.
on TV.
Snivels.
And I got right response.
Mr. Chairman, he should be
Right
right
the
here.
opportunity. Now, Mr. Jordan,
It's
I
redacted.
am the Deputy Attorney General of the United States. Okay? I'm not the person doing the redacting.
I'm not the person doing the redacting. Alan Goldman. I'll do Rosenstein. I'm not the person, snivel, doing the redacting, sir. Snivel. Space Ghost 1. Jordan was just inches away from putting Rod Rowe in an arm bar. Snap. I'd pay for that cage fight. I'd like to see Rod Rowe walking around with his FISA warrant. Space Ghost 1. Space Ghost 1. I want to see Jim Jordan versus Mueller. I'll take Jim Jordan all day long. All day long. Space Ghost 1, as always, thank you. Snivel.
I'm responsible for responding to your concerns as I have. I have a team with me, sir.
Ooh.
Just a fraction of the team that's doing this work. And whenever you brought issues to my...
I have a team with me, sir. It's a fraction of an overall team. There are people, they're below us, but above us, sideways, to the left, to the right. There are people within intergalactic spaces, in the quantum physics spaces of reality. There are people helping in ways in realms that you don't even know. Okay? There are people everywhere, even alien life forms, helping us. You have no idea. So stay in your lane and slow your roll. Because I'm not doing the reducting, sir. Sniffle.
My attention, I have taken appropriate steps to remedy them.
I've taken the appropriate steps deemed appropriate by the same people who thought that Carter Page was Putin's long-lost son. This is the steps needed by people who hate Trump.
So your statement that I'm personally keeping information from you, trying to conceal information.
You're the boss, Mr. Rosenstein.
That's correct. And my job is to make sure that we respond to your concerns. We have, sir. Now, I've appointed Mr. Lausch, who is managing that production. And my understanding is it's actually going very well, sir.
I understand. So I don't know if you found that amusing the way I did, but my understanding is that that it's going pretty well. Really? Is that your understanding? Who's telling you this? Hillary Clinton? Who's telling you this? Mark Coolidge. I don't like Rosenstein is married to HRC lawyer. Yes, I agree. And has a sister who is the CDC director of immunizations. And she is married to the CDC economist. And says, wow, I didn't know all of that. But Mark Coolidge, thank you. No, I agree with that. I mean, if you're hardcore DC establishment, you're going to represent DC establishment. And I agree with you on that. Mark Coolidge, thank you so very, very much. Mark, thank you. Thank you, Mark. Thank you. Eric Neff, my bumper sticker idea: deplorables versus deportables. Deportables. 2020. Eric Neff. Eric, thank you. Mike Sherman. What happens to all these investigations if Dems take Congress? Not good. Well, it's not good. Because you know what? It's definitely it'll definitely the people saying, hey, let him speak will be Republicans, not Democrats. So the Democrats will try to obstruct every single investigation, but you know that could boost the resolve of Republicans. So worst case scenario is not going to really stop things too much, but it will impede progress. It won't stop the momentum. Mike Sherman, great question. David Kaplan, bye-bye, Rosenstein. David Kaplan, thank you. David Kaplan, thank you as always. Eric Neff, thank you. Mark Coolidge, thank you. Mike Sherman, thank you. David Kaplan, thank you as always. Rosenstein, you need 2/3 of Congress to actually go through with the impeachment. But let's continue. Because you know what? Look, this is all about how very powerful people wield influence and power and prestige and political momentum and political capital. How do they wield this? How do they utilize this? How do they go ahead and justify their actions? Okay, if you're seeing people like the Democratic Party who are throwing everything they have into failed narrative, failed propaganda, failed this, and you have MSNBC, Washington Post freaking out all the time. Americans don't care. The economy is good. The economy is good. We're not in a major war. People like James Comey are despised even by Democrats. Joseph Arbuckle, the semantic cocracy has hit the fan. Exactly. The semanticocracy has hit the fan. Your cococracy will not be tolerated. Exactly. I agree. Marin Garcia. Rod Rosenstein reminds me of Milhouse, nerd complex. But Jordan will put into it. So yeah, maybe Nixon did have a nerd complex. Who knows? Ren des Ohr. Thank you, Ren des Ohr. Thank you. It's true. Well, he has the nerd / power Napoleon thing going. Rebecca, the only weapons they have left: delay, obfuscate, obstruction, and endless dithering. Exactly. And they're using those weapons to their full, they're very good at all of those things. Ren des Ohr, thank you. Thank you, Ren des Ohr. Thank you. Bobby Sprinkle, I am talking to a liberal. He is saying Rosenstein can't be impeached, and I am laughing at him. Well, he can, theoretically, but you need 2/3 of the Senate. So if he goes to the House, it'll get past the House in a vote. But I believe you need, let me just make sure again, you need 2/3. So he can get impeached. He can get impeached. It's just a matter of the vote. You need the majority of the House, and I believe then 2/3. Yeah, 2/3 of the Senate is necessary to convict and remove the accused from office. A simple majority is needed for an article impeachment to pass. Good. Let it go to the House, the Senate. Fine. It won't pass because there's only what 2-3 more senators. No, 3 or 4 more Republican senators. But Bobby Sprinkle, you are right. He can get impeached. Ren des Ohr, thank you. David Kaplan. Eric Neff, thank you. So yeah, I mean, let's continue.
So I appreciate your concerns.
Again, I think the House of Representatives is going to say otherwise.
But your use of this to attack me personally.
Why did you? It's not wrong.
Point of order, Mr. Chairman. May the witness be permitted to answer a question?
It's not personal.
General will suspend. The witness is going to have an opportunity to say whatever he wants at the end of Mr. Jordan's 5 minutes. Until it is not those 5 minutes, they're his time.
I appreciate your service. It's not personal. If we just want the information, why did you tell Peter Strzok not to answer our questions yesterday? When I asked Peter Strzok if he'd ever communicated with Glenn Simpson, he gave us the answer he gave us dozens of times. On advice of FBI counsel, I can't answer that question. Why couldn't you answer that question?
Jordan, I appreciate your sincere concerns, but I didn't give Peter Strzok any instructions. If there was some problem with the instructions he had, I'll be happy to look into it.
Not what his FBI lawyer said.
Mr. Jordan, when you find some problem with a production or with questions, it doesn't mean that I'm personally trying to conceal something.
The guy is hiding behind bureaucracy. It doesn't mean that I'm trying. Just ate 6 Rockwursts and downed them with 6 IPAs. Nice. Fudge Democrats and their hatred for America never win when they run on, Americans, undocumented immigrants over citizens. Frank, thank you so very much. Thank you so much, Frank. Thank you. 6 bratwursts. Wow. That's pretty good. I can do 6 bratwursts too. That's awesome. That sounds pretty good. 6 is good. That's awesome. 6 IPAs. That's what I'm talking about. Frank, thank you. Space Ghost 1. Love to see Hillary and Bill be forced to share a jail cell crying for lethal injection. Probably like, no, I've done my time. I've done my time. I spent 40 years or 50 years with this woman. That's more than Sing Sing and Alcatraz and Gitmo. I can't do any more time. This is, give me, I'll get out, believe me. Trout fishing at Hood Park. The missus had a problem with Trump being a bully, a ladies' man, rude, egotistical, and an endless tweeter. I told her all those things are positives. She walked out of the room hilarious. Trout fishing at Hood Park. You are a lot more sane and rational than I am. Try not to talk about politics with family. I try not to. Thankfully, my wife is like, even though she doesn't have my political views, accepting of my views. Trout fishing at Hood Park. Thank you, so Trump being a bully, ladies man, rude, egotistical, endless tweeter. I told all those things are positive. They are positive. What's wrong with them? They're great. Hillary just revealed her motive for illegal activity. I guess I was just a plum loco, suspected locomotive. Papa D. Sometimes I feel like I've been drinking the 6 IPAs. Papa D. Hillary just revealed her motive for illegal activity. I guess I was just plum loco. The locomotive. That's right, Papa D. Well, you know, at the end of the day, all of this is just, all of this is leading to one conclusion and one conclusion only, that Hillary's going to get indicted eventually. Simo TWD. When more information keeps coming out, there will be a time when the House with 2/3 will be racing against Trump firing him. I see this coming soon. Yeah, I mean, but you know the interesting thing, Simo TWD, the interesting thing also is that a lot of this is symbolic. These symbolic gestures or these symbolic acts are actually very important for protocol. So they're actually really, really important for protocol, because Trump can say, look, he was already impeached. The House took a vote. He was already impeached in Congress. I'm letting the guy go. There are too many problems. So, and the Senate will always lean more towards establishment, more towards the establishment. Simo, TWD, Simo. Thank you so much. Thank you. Joseph Arbuckle. Oh, I said the semanticocracy has hit the fan. It has. That's the thing. All Democrats have is this vapid adherence to semantics, protocol, bureaucracy. Well, it's not my fault. It's the other person's fault. I didn't do it. I didn't do it. It's not me. Don't blame me. I didn't do it. It's not me. Well, at the end of the day, Hillary's going to get indicted whether you like it or not. Nicholas, my buddy Nicholas has a pretty awesome. Satan doesn't need security clearance or a soul to travel from hell and back. You can pretty much know who we're referring to there. So yeah, I mean, all of this, you know, like it's. By the way, ladies and gentlemen, this is my Steemit article. Let me give you my Steemit article. This is my Steemit article explaining why I'm voting for Trump 2020. So I'm just sending this to somebody. So then you have the issue of the FISA warrants becoming declassified. More FISA warrants becoming declassified. More and more and more. I mean, more of the FISA warrants, 500 plus pages. More of the FISA application, I should say. So, I mean, look, let's just, you know, give a summary. Number one, James Comey is being investigated by the DOJ for the fact that he gave classified intelligence. 4 of the 7 memos were classified intelligence to somebody outside the United States government, which Rod Rosenstein should never have utilized as the impetus of the start of the Mueller probe. It's so ridiculous. Ever since WikiLeaks exposed the actual words and writing of people who cheated Bernie Sanders, now Democrats are like, well, hearsay and gossip is the same thing, you know. It's like, no, it's not the same thing. It's actually really different. You were exposed. That's the problem. You were actually exposed by your own words. Stop trying to pretend that, stop trying to pretend that someone else's, that actual writing of individuals who are engaged in criminal behavior is the same as gossip and hearsay, because it's not. It's just not. Let's continue.
From you. It means we're running an organization that's trying to follow the rules, and
we're running an organization that's trying to follow the rules. I can't even get through with this without, we're running an organization that's trying to follow the rules. I'm looking. You ever see a tweet from James Woods and you're like, oh my goodness. Oh my goodness. James Woods is awesome. Then you have this one, it's like this. This president is awful. It seeps into our lives regardless of where we are, what we're doing. It's ubiquitous and painful. Wears us out and breaks our hearts. What's going on here? What is so... Yes, the good economy, the peace between North and South Korea, the exposing of Comey and all these people, really, really bad. Adam Bomb 31458. Discuss politics with family. Prepare for hell trip. Yeah, absolutely. 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 That's why I don't, I mean, try not to. Try not to. Oh my God. Did Michael Moore really do this? I have asked my distributor not to book my film in any theater in North Carolina due to their... Oh, this was years back. I thought it was recently. I thought it was against Trump. They're all going right now. What the thing is, it's not, they don't see the world the way it is. They don't see the world the way it is. Democrats are not looking at what you're looking at, ladies and gentlemen. They're looking like liberals or Democrats. They're looking at Trump. Trump is like this omnipresent force to them. I'm definitely not a fan of Hillary Clinton, obviously. And I believe she's going to get charged with crimes. I know she is eventually, but it's not like she's this omnipresent force in my life. Like, it might seem like that to some people, but she's not. The people who really dislike me bringing up Clinton have this sad, pathetic allegiance to Clinton, even though they say they don't. They really do. They really, really do. But with people who have Trump derangement syndrome, it's like this, like they can't. Like Whoopi Goldberg said this. She's like, I don't know how to fix it. Look, how about vote him out of office if you don't like him? How about make sure that Republicans don't own Congress, which they will again. Which they will again. My buddies one of my buddies who knows a lot about politics, who's a Democrat, he knows. He's like, he doesn't want to admit. So he doesn't want to admit that Democrats won't win. But you have a Quinnipiac poll that Democrats up 12 today. Ain't going to work out. Alan Dershowitz, if Cohen was behind the leak of Donald Trump tape, he has a serious problem. Of course. You can't go ahead and, for no reason, because you can't. This is the thing. There's one school of thought that says, well, if your client is engaging in illegal behavior, you have a right as an attorney to tape your client. But the only reason, if you tape your client, then you should theoretically also go and If Democrats are the Great Awakening, why do I keep dozing off? That reminds me of the maxim, if this isn't beef jerky, what the heck am I eating? But Papa D, yes. If Democrats are the Great Awakening, why do I keep dozing off? That's true. Susan, I agree with you. Even if Rosenstein doesn't get impeached, yeah. I mean, the thing is, that's why I say, like, it's all about political momentum. It's all about political momentum. Dogfather of Hull, thank you. It's all about political momentum. Papa D, thank you. It's the momentum here. The political momentum is important. It's important. You want to see this push. You want to see this pull of, towards Republicans unifying around Trump. So and the best thing to do if you're a former Bernie Sanders supporter is vote for Trump. Don't listen to Bernie, because Bernie is not the same person. Bernie, Democrats will overall have more in common with Bernie. No, they don't. Maybe in terms of rhetoric, maybe in terms of certain policies, sure, of course. But in terms of foreign policy, you don't want. Damon Blanche, buy you a beer. Thanks for the updates. I check in daily. Appreciate your take. I was a Trumper from the day he announced. Damon, thank you so very, very much, Damon. Thank you. Damon, thank you. I remember I was at like a family function, and there was a woman there who I never met before, a friend of a friend, and it's like one of the first times I ever met somebody. This was like in early 2016. No, early 2000. She was like, yeah, I like Trump. I was like, whoa, really? I was like, huh, interesting. Like, there were people in LA who like had never met a Trump supporter, like, because I was firmly on the left. And so like late 2015, early 2016, I was like, oh, do these people exist? Like, people were so on the left, so much inside a bubble, they didn't realize reality in life. That's why I'm so glad I left that cult. It really is a cult. But what I was saying is that people were like, oh, how can you go from Bernie? How can you go from Bernie? Because foreign policy is my biggest foreign policy, and ensuring that the deep state doesn't control U.S. politics, and ensuring that we don't get into a Cold War, and ensuring that we have good relations, or at least a foreign policy that leads to peace between North and South Korea. That's a very good thing. A good economy also is a very good thing. But Damon, thank you so very much, Damon. Thank you. But here you have you just have people who are like so they're so like I just can't wait. I just can't wait until I cannot wait until Republicans win both the House and Senate. And then what are they going to have? Then there's this disgusting meme of like what's supposed to be Trump voters, and you see this like Klan members and like Nazi guy and some guy holding an AR, and then like, Confederate flag, and then like all we were saying is give peace a chance. And the meme here on Twitter is like, oh, look at all these deplorables who just want peace. Like, no, number one, the majority, the vast majority, 99% of Trump voters are not racist. So that's number one. Number two, it is good to have an anti-war stance, or I should say, an anti-regime change stance. People are like, "Oh, but Trump's a pacifist. He's not a what's going on, AJ?" I'm like, no, I never said Trump was a pacifist. I said he's less hawkish. Ladies and gentlemen, let's go ahead and reconvene soon. It has been absolutely wonderful. I wanted to share the news with everybody. It's happening, ladies and gentlemen. It is happening. And just, let's enjoy the ride, because every single day, you and I are going to be vindicated. We're being vindicated every day right now. Thank you so much, everybody. God bless. Thank you to the super chat. And just thank you so much for your support. I will see you soon. Excellent, excellent, excellent news. Thank you again. Thank you to the super chat and live chat. Thank you.